A coalition between the Democratic Alliance and the Freedom Front Plus in the municipalities of Langburg and Oudtshoorn. This is in the Western Cape. Those have collapsed. At least that's what we know so far. The Freedom Front Plus is being accused of breaching a coalition agreement after it refused to support a budget. This was a few months ago. This is in respect of the Langburg municipality. Now, the DA, on the other hand, is being accused of arrogance by failing to replace the mayor of Oudtshoorn, and that's why that municipality is in trouble. Freedom Front Plus Western Cape leader is Dr. Corne Mulder, who joins us, and the Democratic Alliance provincial head is Jaco Lont. To both of you, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Can I start with you, Dr. Mulder? When you hear the statement that says the Freedom Front Plus and the ANC are working together to remove the Democratic Alliance from municipalities in the Western Cape, is that statement factually correct?
No, it's a blatant lie. Unfortunately, it's a blatant lie. And we had a meeting on Wednesday, and I informed Ms. Ziller from the Democratic Alliance that it's absolutely nonsense. But it seems to be a strategy that the Democratic Alliance wants to push, but it's not true, no.
Mr. Lont, when you hear those reassuring words, does that give you hope that there is no breakdown in trust between the DA and the Freedom Front Plus?
Well, good evening, Paulie, and all the listeners. I do think we just need to look a little bit broader. The Western Cape, there's 30 local municipalities. There are 7 where the DA is in opposition, 10 where we are in coalition, and 13 in an outright majority. But Mr. Mulder used the word, it's a blatant lie. But the fact of the matter is the Freedom Front, before the election, already voted with the ANC to remove a DA mayor in Cape Agulhas. The ANC and the Freedom Front voted together to remove Chris McPherson, not on principles or anything that they say, on a personality clash that we offered to mediate, and they denied it. We have voice recordings of the Freedom Front deputy leader in the Western Cape lobbying smaller parties to get rid of the DA mayor in George. So the Freedom Front is obviously very economical with the truth if they are selective in saying that they are a trustworthy coalition partner, because they are anything but a trustworthy coalition partner.
Dr. Mulder, when you hear that kind of statement, does that fill you with confidence that this coalition agreement is on safe ground?
No, it's very concerning that the Democratic Alliance would say these things. I really don't understand why they would do this. I can respond to each and every one of these allegations. Maybe I should start with Cape Agulhas. What is not being said to the viewers out there is that there was a disciplinary hearing against the mayor in Cape Agulhas by an outside panel, and that panel unanimously found the mayor guilty of misconduct. Now, does the DA Freedom Front Plus to try and sweep the carpet? We are not prepared to do that. The rubber stamp of the Democratic Alliance, ethical thing, and that mayor was removed. Obviously, the Democratic Alliance reacted to it by promoting that person to Parliament. That is how the DA unfortunately operates. No, the Freedom Front Plus is serious about coalitions, but I think there's an underlying problem here, and I understand why the Democratic Alliance has been used to govern quite for a long time alone, all by themselves. But as was correctly pointed out, they lost clear majorities in 11 municipalities in the Western Cape, and we entered into coalition agreements with them, and we are a committed coalition partner, and we are serious about that. There's a reason why people refer to the Freedom Front Plus as the adult in the room. So we continue with that, but to our surprise, suddenly the Democratic Alliance ended the coalition in George, then in the Garden Route District Council. We've then had a meeting with the leadership of the DA in the Western Cape in Mossel Bay, in which we explained to them, not only the Freedom Front Plus, in the Oudtshoorn coalition, there were 4 parties, so 3 other parties explained to the Democratic Alliance that there's a huge problem with their current mayor, Mr. McPherson. We asked them, please give us somebody else from the Democratic Alliance and we will support that person because we want to retain and remain part of that coalition. The Democratic Alliance was not prepared to do so, so a motion of no confidence succeeded. And then we invited the Democratic Alliance once again to form a government. They declined. Then we put out an invitation to all the parties in Oudtshoorn to form a government of local unity. Once again, the DA declined. And then we formed a government of local unity, which now is the government in Oudtshoorn. And I think that is the way to go. We were quite surprised when in Langeberg last Wednesday, suddenly we were accused of betraying the trust of the Democratic Alliance.